At the dawn of solstice, an ancient voice is coming from far away ancient Mesopotamia. A tale of Sumeria, the tale of Inanna or Ishtar, the queen of heaven and earth, goddess of paradoxes, of love, especially sexual love, and war. She unites the polarities. She is the goddess of light and dark. She's impulsive, as she is also careful, especially careful to the ones that are loyal to her, and also sometimes very careless about the feelings of others. She's revengeful. Sometimes she's led by terror and power. She loves to fight. She's as much a lover as a warrior woman. She even defeated the dragon mountain, Abi. Never ever one thought this one could be defeated. So let me tell you a tale of arrogance and respect, of pride and humility, of jealousy and compassion, and of power and truth. It all starts with Gilgamesh. Inanna, even if married, meets Gilgamesh and she finds him very beautiful. And she thinks, what a beautiful prey for my bed for tonight. And so she begins her game of seduction. But at her biggest surprise, Gilgamesh tells her, Inanna, no, I'm not gonna play this game. I heard what happens to your lovers. Wow. He is the first one who ever was bold enough to speak that up. No one ever said no to the goddess of love. Inanna is angry. She's not only angry, she is furious. And so she thinks, Gilgamesh is one of the greatest warriors. And she is not certain to be able to defeat him herself. So she goes to the Bull of Heaven, who is the greater warriors under the gods, and her brother-in-law, the husband of her sister, Ereshkigal. And so she goes to him and asks him, Gugalana, there's a big fight for you. Do you want to show your strength? Would you support me to fight Gilgamesh, who is one of the greatest warriors amongst the humans? The Bull of Heaven loves to fight and agrees. But at their surprise, as they are about to reach the place of fight, there is no Gilgamesh, as instead he sent his best friend, Enkidu, who is actually known as the one who was even able to defeat a god. No one expected that, but he defeats the ball of heaven. And so Gugalana, the husband of her sister, is dead. The gods are shocked. They just lost their strongest warrior. And Inanna couldn't take revenge. So she thinks, I need to restore my authority. And blinded by her anger and her lust for power, she decides that she will take the power also in the underworld. So she would be the queen of heaven, of earth, and of the underworld. And she puts her warrior feathers on and all of her garments. And she takes her way down to the abyss. At her side, her dear servant, Ninchibur. And before she enters the gate, she tells her, Ninchibur, if I'm not back within 3 days, please, you go to the gods and you ask them for help. And so she stands on the huge door to the underworld. She knocks on the door, and the guardian of the underworld, Nin, asks her, Inanna, why do you come here? And she answered in a sweet voice, because of my older sister Ereshkigal. Her husband, Gugalana, the ball of heaven, has died, and I've come to witness the funerals. And you remember that all who enter and walk the realm of the dead must stay. Are you sure that you want to enter? And she answers, yes, I need to console my sister. And so Nin opens the gate, and Inanna realizes there's not only one gate. And the rule of each gate is to give an offering. And so on the first gate, Inanna gives her crown. And by giving her crown, she has to let go of her power. On the second gate, Inanna gives her scepter. And by giving her scepter, she has to let go of her authority. On the third gate, she gives her necklace. and she has to let go of her obvious beauty. On the fourth gate, she gives away a bracelet of lapis-lazuli, and with it she has to go on her wealth. On the fifth gate, she gives away her belt that protects her womb. And here she gives away the symbol of her femininity. On the sixth gate, she leaves her sandals. That is the freedom she has to walk everywhere. And on the seventh gate, all that she has left is her robe. And by leaving her robe and being naked as a little child, she has to let go of the sense of her identity. And so Inanna enters the abyss, naked and vulnerable. And everything that she has known, that she has been, or that she thinks she was on earth, has been taken away from her. And she walks into the hall of the underworld, where her sister Ereshkigal sits on a throne. And from far away already she can see black eyes mirroring her back as an obsidian mirror, a red flame of anger. And her grieving sister that is broken for having lost her beloved husband screams to her, "You killed him!" Inanna stays very calm and tells her, "I didn't kill him. Enkidu did. He wanted to fight." Ereshkigal is furious. "You come without respect, without any offering, and without any blessing, and so you will stay here." And so Inanna receives the only possible sentence that comes with the boldness of entering the other world. And Ereshkigal cries the cry of guilt, and she strokes her sister with the eye of death, and she orders her servants to hang her on a hook. And so the Queen of Heaven and Earth, Inanna, naked as she is, dies and transforms to a corpse. Three days and 3 nights are passing. And so Ninshibu does as she promised. she goes to ask for help to the gods. But actually no one wants to help her. No, why should I help Inanna with... I mean, it's her story. It's between the sisters, had nothing to do with me. No, I see no reason to help her. But so finally, Ninchibu goes to Enki, who is the father of Inanna and Ereshkigal. And as Enki dearly loves his daughter, for 3 days and 3 nights, he forms 2 androgynous beings, spirits of clay, that are neither male or female, hoping that in that way they could descend to Ereshkigal and come back. As the rule says, never ever a man or a woman will come back from the underworld. And to be able to help Inanna, Enki sends the 2 little beings with the gift of the water of life and the food of life. And so Ninchibu and the 2 beings of clay descend again to the abyss. And as they pass the gates, they receive the same questions from Nin, from the guardian of the abyss. And they answer yes, they want to pass through. And they received 7 offerings to gift at each gate. And as they enter the hall of Ereshkigal, they meet her with the deepest pain they've ever seen. Ereshkigal lies on her throne, naked, in tears, in the deepest grief. And they are taken by compassion. And for 3 days and for 3 nights, they console her. They caress her. They hold her. They whisper her words of love and compassion. And as these little beings were able to hold her in her grief, she grants them a wish. And up there, Inanna is hanging on the hook. And so they ask for the corpse of Inanna. And Ereshkigal first refuses. She's like, no. She is the one that caused this sorrow. She is staying here. But she promised. So the judges of the underworld summon her that she has to keep her promise. And so because after she cried so many tears and her heart is in a way nourished again, she finally agrees. And the little spirits of clay are able to give Inanna the waters and the food of life from her father, Enki. And Inanna comes to life again. And as she opens her eyes and she meets the eyes of her sister, she feels deeply sorry. And she apologizes. But the Rishkigal is not gonna let her leave like this. And so she sits with the judges of the abyss. And all of them agree that if Inanna is about to leave the underworld and to break its rule, a sacrifice has to be made. A life has to be taken to the underworld. And so they send her out, a horde of Galas, a horde of beings that will take her, that she will give another in exchange, and the rule of the underworld won't be broken. And as she passes the gates again, she receives her garments back. And the first one she meets is her humble, loyal, devoted Ninchibur. And as she hears the story, she proposes herself and tells her, let me go, and so you can be free. But Inanna is not ready to sacrifice her most loyal Ninchibur. And so the Galas ask, what about your sons? Give us one of your sons. But her mother's heart cries, no, please. We will find someone, but please don't take my sons. And so all of them, Inanna, Ninchibur, all the Galas, return to the temple of Inanna, where she lives with her husband, Dumuzi. And as her big surprise, Dumuzi is not in pain at all about the departure of Inanna, but he actually sits on the throne and wears her crown. And as he sees her, he seems actually quite surprised and unhappy and tormented. And so Inanna knows who is gonna take her place in the underworld. And as she looks in his eyes, she sees black eyes as an obsidian mirror, reflecting to herself the anger and the lust of power that led her to the abyss. But Dumuzi is very fast. He disappears and he hides away. And as much as the Galas are looking for him, they cannot find him. So Inanna goes to Geshtiana, who is the sister of Dumuzi, because she knows that she dearly, dearly loves him and that she would be the one to protect him and she would be the one to know where he is. And as she loves him dearly, first what she does is she proposes herself. Please take me instead. Leave him. Leave him. He is a great man. And Inanna, actually, remember, he is the god of the shepherds of the animals. I am the goddess of the plants, of the flowers, and of the wine. And if he is gone, and I am in deep grief, who is gonna be there for the humans to take care of the animals and the crops? The humans won't be able to survive without us. And so feeling this love that Gestiana has for his brother Dumuzi, Inanna finds a piece of compassion. Inanna finds compassion in her heart. And they agree that Gestiana would go to the underworld for 6 months and Dumuzi for the other 6 months. And this is how the seasons were born. And this is also how Inanna and Dumuzi met anew and again, by both meeting the abyss. And Inanna, as she has been touched by death, is changed. She's not the same anymore. And within her, she finds a peace that she didn't know before. She learned to listen to the dark. And so she didn't become the queen of the underworld, but now she's also known as the queen of the night, the one that can see through the night, the one who has seen the darkness.